And the two guys you wrote down were two of my favorite tight end values. I talked about Jared Cook on Tuesday, but my next one up would have been Adam Trautman. So I was pumped to see you have his name down. I love the value you can get on this guy in fantasy drafts. What's your case for Mr. Trautman this year?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go really deep, like there's a bunch of guys at tight end that you could pick that are kind of going in, the top 15 or so. But if you want to go like even deeper than that, maybe we'll see Troutman's ADP rise over time as more people start talking about him. But, in that New Orleans offense, one of the things when I'm looking for a value at tight end, I want to try to find a situation where maybe my tight end can be like that de facto number 2 receiver in the offense. And I know you'll say, okay, Michael Thomas is there. Alvin Kamara is kind of the de facto number 2 receiver. But we're going to talk about like downfield options, right? Like they don't really have a proven guy in the receiving core behind Michael Thomas. Traquan Smith, maybe we'll see it from him. Marcus Callaway, those guys have potential. But last year, Jared Cook, he put up pretty good numbers. I think it was 60 targets, over 35 catches, ended up putting up top 10 tight end numbers on a per game basis. I think we're going to see Trautman step right into that role this year. There really isn't anybody else there to do it. And on top of that, a very athletic player, had a 95th percentile agility score, a guy that even last year in the 15 or so catches that he had a couple of them go big for 41 yards, for 29 yards. Like he can bring that element to the offense. So I like him. It's just based on that situation too, right? The talent's there, sure. He's not going to get the kind of volume where he's going to end up in the elite tight end range. But if we're talking about these extreme value guys who could end up being tight end ones this season, I think Troutman's right in the mix.
100%. In addition to Cook leaving and Josh Hill, 70 targets between them, you also have Sanders with 82 vacant targets as well. So plenty up for grabs, even if we've got that dominant Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara. Behind them, as you said, it seems to be pretty wide open. So I absolutely love that call. Plus the guy 82nd percentile in catch radius, like one of those big bodies in the red zone that I could see. We've seen the Saints for so often. That's why Jared Cook was number 2, tied with Travis Kelce the last 2 seasons in touchdowns. They love using those tight ends in the red zone. So I could see Trautman, even if it's not a consistent yardage thing, at tight end, it's almost like a coin flip. Do you want a touchdown this week or not? Like that's what it becomes after you get those top 4 or 5. I think he's as good of a bet as a weekly touchdown as pretty much anyone from that like 8 to 20 range. And he goes free. So
21 touchdowns to tight ends the last 2 years in New Orleans. So you want the guy that's stepping into that starting role there
with no one else there. Yeah, I'm all in on that. I love that one.
What you got?
What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments. Check out some more videos and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.